Hello all, another field trip, going around, quite literally walking around the field, why not, talking FPL. And I think I'm about 80% certain I'm going to go down the Jota and Son route rather than having Salah and Midfield. I think the upside to owning one of Spurs' best players and the striker for Liverpool in a front three of Salah, Jota and Diaz cannot be underestimated and cannot be looked upon as, well, it's the old saying, isn't it? Oh yeah, what saying is that, Steve-O? Looking a gift horse in the mouth. Do you know where that comes from? Back in the olden days. Oh yeah, the olden times, yeah. But yeah, I think the upside is there to go with Son and Jota rather than Salah and Midfield. And as I stated yesterday, well, in fact, as I was talking to Ray about on the voice messaging, I do find it always interesting at this stage of the season, like anybody finds it really interesting at this stage of the season, where you can just chat about various options. And I will continue saying this, I am actually really happy with the defence that I've got. Martinez in goal. You then have the set and forget defenders in Vardio and Poro. Remember, I forgot his name, Poro, yeah? So Poro. And then this interchange between Byrne, Robinson and Davis. And I looked at, when I was doing a Patreon podcast last night, I was looking at the rotation pairings between these three individuals, and you know what? It works really well. Whisper it quietly, but those three teams work quite well together. There are going to be better rotation options, but I like the attacking options that Robinson and Davis offer. By all accounts, Davis is going to be essentially like Doherty last year at Fulham, for Luton, sorry. A player who was evidently key to everything Ipswich did last season. You know, we're talking like, what was it, 20 plus goal involvements, specifically 18 assists. Should we try and get a thumbnail out of that? But 18 assists or whatever it was, it's just absolutely absurd. And I think for someone like myself, when he had, I think it was Fulham at home in game week 3. Either way, the point being is that I'm happy with my defence. I think I looked at it and was like, to be honest with you, Steve-O, that particular fixtures that you've got for those particular players works up until about game week 11, game week 12. Now obviously by which point we'll have a lot of data on the teams in form, teams that are just outperforming what we expected them to do, teams that we thought we were going to do well, actually doing rubbish. And I think, you know, I'm listening to Black Box, and it's always interesting, like I say, I always have a respect for the likes of Mark and Az, and when I do listen into Planet FPL, because they've got such a high base of knowledge and information regarding the teams that they support, or just looking at data in general. It's really interesting that they're pretty much, give or take, in a more informed way of going about it, kind of saying the same things as me. Again, I reiterate, my team is very much template, barring what will be Jota and Son, but as it stands right now, my team is template, specifically the midfield and attack. All 6 of those players, or 7 of those players, pretty much virtually everyone, give or take, in the FPL X community, as the wind starts to pick up. Oh, it's like a gale. Woo-hoo. No planes, Mr. Reed, I'm afraid. But yeah, I think that my team is template as it stands. That's why I I think, like Mark said, for the first opening few fixtures for Liverpool, yes, Salah is virtually guaranteed 85 plus minutes. You could even argue 90 plus minutes. Very, very true. But Mavi Diddy. In fact, actually, talking of Mavi Diddy, essentially another thought process was getting rid of Anthony Gordon and just doubling up with Jota and Salah. But I thought, no, Steve-o. Newcastle's fixtures are really, really nice, and you want to be attacking the likes of Southampton. That Tottenham home game could be fantastically high scoring. Of course, we had news, was it yesterday? It came through, maybe the day before, I can't remember now. We had the news of, what's his face, Solanke moving to Tottenham. I think that could be a player that Jason may look into. Talking of Jason, myself and him were on a call yesterday, slagging you off. And you. And no, he was basically setting up my pages for when I do the Saturday night reactions with Ray. And if Ray can't join me and another guest wants to join me on camera, I can easily just set up. But anyway, the point being is that I think Solanke could be someone that Jason may actually seriously look at. Again, another player, we know the quality that he can bring. We know how good he is as a striker. Question is, will Solanke be on penalties, or will Son be on penalties for the first few games? I genuinely do not know the answer to that question, because I'm not an expert. Ask Ricky Saunders of Planet FPL, at Ricky Saunders on X. But certainly Solanke is a very, very interesting option from again a very, very good attacking team. And we all know what the one thing that Tottenham were missing last year, and that was a clinical striker. You get Solanke in, bloody hell, Son, Kulusevski, Maddison, Bergerville, whatever his bloody name is, he could be having a right laugh next year. I think that potentially that this could be a season which Tottenham could be just like last year. Let's not mess about here. Tottenham scored lots and lots of goals last year, and that was without a decent striker. You know, Werner, he works really hard. He's quick. His end product and his crossing is shocking. Richarlison, well, oohing and ahhing about whether he's staying or not. I think you find he said he's staying, Steve. Oh, okay, fair enough. But he's somebody which I don't think Postecoglou wants as a first team striker. I don't think he's good enough for that anyway. So I certainly think that Postecoglou has found his perfect match in a striker. And I believe James and Ricky did both agree with one another that Solanke fits their system more than Tony. That's another player that could be potentially an absolute gem. I mentioned him yesterday in the 5 million bracket, Carvalho at Brentford. God, if he hits the game running, then 5 million for him. We all know how well he did for, was it Fulham 2 seasons ago in the Championship? Which team was it that he performed really well under? I can't remember now, but any time I seem to see him play. And who was that for, Steve-o? I can't remember. He looked absolutely fantastic. We know how good Brentford are, and the fact that they got such good quality players like Mbermo, Tony, again, I'm not a football expert. You're joking. But I think from my personal standpoint, when myself and Jason talk about the teams that we're going to have for game week 1, I really do think that it is going to be pretty much my midfield of Nkunku, Son, Jota, and the other bloke I've completely forgotten about, Gordon. I really do think that will be my midfield 4, because there's too much of an upside. It also means I will have 0.5 in the bank. Think about that. So I have 0.5 in the bank. The only downside is the fact that I will not, this is the downside to it, I won't have Salah. It's the only downside. It's the only thing which I think about where I'm like, I kind of love, oh man, this could be the perfect thumbnail. Because the lighting's really good. Just scared the magpies. Don't know if they went away. Oh my god, there's a magpie. But yeah, the only upside to Salah I see is that, well, let's say the only, is the fact that he's a world-class player, as I said yesterday. Guaranteed minutes. Penalties, that's a big one, isn't it? Penalties is the massive one, which is really frustrating because Jota, we know, as Mark's just said, is going to get 70, 75 minutes. I mean, he can still do damage in that time, especially with Diaz and Salah providing him with the, may as well go this way, fuck it, may as well go up this path here. Jeff Marshall style there. Maybe I should put the phone on the floor and maybe record my feet. Oh my god, ridiculous. But no, there's not much for me to look at, whereas with Jason, I'm going to be, on Wednesday when we go live, I'm going to be really interested to see what Jason ends up with, where his thoughts are at, because we can all have a laugh with one another about various things, and Jason may say like this season he's not taking it seriously, but we all saw how he coped with the fact that, oh shit, wait a minute, Haaland's got Ipswich game week 2, how do I get him in? It's going to be a really, really interesting season for all at Elite FPL. So I think on that note, just have a quick view of the to be fair, this golf course is actually, in my opinion, very nice. It's in quite a posh area. It's like the top end of Ealing. And yeah, it's a very, very nice. I did this walk yesterday, funny enough, thinking about FPL, because that's how much of a loser I am, just constantly thinking about FPL. But I think that it is a very, very nice golf course. Why are you telling us this? I don't know. Just keep it safe. And as ever, if you've enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button. And always make sure you're engaging with the videos. It always. What did that bloke say? What was his name? Wenzel, or whatever his name is, the bloke that goes around various seaside resorts which are crumbling around society. It really helps, you know, if you hit that. See that thing up there? Shut up. But no, it's really good that you guys are engaging with the channel. It really does. As I said on the extras, extras podcast that I finally recorded for series 2, I made the point that sometimes when you're doing something like this and you're just getting zero engagement, and you're like, well, I'm doing this for the entertainment. You're doing this for the entertainment of others, yet you're getting no feedback on it. So it's always nice seeing the engagement from people, what you think of these videos. Do more, do less. I mean, someone could be asking, on a minute, Steve-o, didn't you say you weren't going to be doing these videos, more specifically doing as much content as normal? And the reality is, let's just let this guy take a shot. Oh, it's that way, isn't it? Oh, brilliant. This is beautiful. Just come out in the open here. But yeah, I've always said this. I do stuff like this on my own terms. I don't like having a timetable set. I like the fact that me and Jason have now got a set schedule of Wednesday and Sunday, and I'm going to be doing with Ray predominantly as often as we can, as much of his availability as possible, doing the Saturday night reactions, which are always good to talk about the football in general, isn't it? So we'll be making sure we're doing it. I mean, Alex follows thumbnails at the moment. I mean, the one that he's done for us for Wednesday is ridiculous. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the schedule for the stream, but the thumbnail is just absolutely ludicrous, to be honest with you. And yeah, it's one of those where the work that he does for us doesn't go unnoticed. I always message Jason immediately the thumbnail that he's done for us, and just how ludicrous he has created just some really different artwork, because you know what it's like in the world of FPL. It's just the same old thing. Picture of Haaland, picture of Salah, with a title saying "No Haaland." Wait a minute, isn't that Alex Follow done that for you? Yeah. Yeah. But no, I'm really like getting hyped up. I'm gutted that the deadline is on Friday though, because Friday for me is always really busy at work. I'm going to be very fortunate if I'm not doing any transport job. If I'm doing a transport job, I'm stuffed, and I'm just going to be going into the deadline with whatever team is set up, and I'm trying to get information, because this is another thing you've got to think about in that, as I patronise you by saying thinking about, is you've got to remember that you need that information of what players are going to be starting. So I'm going to be looking out for Ben Dinnery's posts. I think certainly me following certain accounts on X does help me understand some of the information that's coming out from the managers to suggest what their starting 11s could be. And the Gordon one's going to be the interesting one. The Gordon one for me, if I find out that basically Gordon ain't going to be starting, which he will do, but if Gordon's not starting, I'm just putting in Jota, having a Jota and Salah double up. That's an easy decision for me. Whereas, like I said, there's a 80-85% chance that I will be going with Son and Jota instead of Salah and Mavididi. And as I said to Ray on the voice message, it's more for me, with not owning Salah, it's more the fact that FOMO and the whole thing of the minutes. I know I'm repeating myself, but that's the difficulty of it. Other teams I'm quite confident with regarding with my players. We all know that the likes of Vardio and Cuckoo, Isaac, Haaland, etc. are going to be playing the majority of minutes. Minimum of, like I say, 80 plus. And the majority of the rest of my team, they're all guaranteed starters, but Jota, I don't know, why don't you, again, let me know in the, where is it here? There, yeah, down there. Comments below. I don't know. I always find just a quick one, this, it's really gloomy. Trust me, you would not want to be swimming in that. On that note, let's get out of here. Cheers for watching. See you later.